Good evening and welcome to Edinburgh. You join us from the castle, high above a city which today has truly witnessed history in the making.
We were told there shall be a Scottish Parliament, opened by the Queen in a ceremony that mixed all the grandeur of a state occasion with the informality of a family party. Our Scottish parliamentary correspondent Michael Crowe reports on a day which few who saw it will ever forget.
Described as one of the most historic days in Scotland's history for nearly 300 years, the will of the Scottish people has been settled and the unfinished business has been completed.
The Duke of Edinburgh and Prince Charles, Duke of Rothesay, join me in wishing this Parliament every success. I am pleased, therefore, now to declare the Scottish Parliament open and, in so doing, to present to you this newly commissioned mace, a modern embodiment of an ancient symbol of power, legitimacy, and the relationship between Parliament and Crown. Let it serve to remind all of the lawful authority vested in the Scottish Parliament from today.
Earlier, MSPs, MPs and members of the European Parliament walked from the old Parliament Hall to the temporary Parliament on the Mound. Surrounded by school children representing the future of the country, the party leaders were watched from all sorts of vantage points. Thousands of people had turned up to watch the procession and witness a day they were unlikely ever to forget. First Minister Donald Dewar was given some friendly encouragement from the crowd. Earlier in the day, he had apologised for the absence of the Prime Minister Tony Blair, who was unable to attend because of the crucial peace process talks in Northern Ireland. Donald Dewar's speech was followed by a statement by the nationalist leader Alex Salmond, who expressed his determination that today would not be the end of constitutional change in the UK and Scotland would one day be independent. He was not the only party leader to use the occasion for political reasons. Socialist leader Tommy Sheridan led students who had marched from Glasgow protesting against tuition fees. At one stage, a number of people thought to be Edinburgh-based Irish Republican sympathisers broke through the barricades and ran at the Queen. The demonstrators were led away by police. Earlier, the procession had left Holyrood Palace to the strains of God Save the Queen. They then passed the controversial but probable site for the new Scottish Parliament. As they approached the temporary Scottish Parliament, the sounds of a 21-gun salute reverberated from the barricades of Edinburgh Castle. Outside the Parliament, they were met by the First Minister Donald Dewar and led into the building for the official handover ceremony. The Queen's address was followed by the one event of the day that epitomised the very Scottishness of the occasion, the singing of Rabbie Burns's A Man's a Man for A' That.
Then let us pray that come it may, as come it will, for all that sense and worth out o' the earth shall bear the grief and all that, for all that and all that it's coming yet, for all that man's a man the world o'er shall brothers be for all that.
First Minister Donald Dewar then thanked the Queen for her gift.
Your Majesty, on behalf of the people of Scotland, I thank you for the gift of the mace. It's a symbol of the great democratic traditions from which we draw our inspiration and our strength. At its head are inscribed the opening words of our founding statute: there shall be a Scottish Parliament. Through long years, many long years in the case of many of us, those words were first a hope, then a belief, then a promise. Now they are a reality. This is indeed a moment anchored in our history.
Scotland is now a very different nation to the one it was yesterday and the one it has been for the past 300 years. Its position in the United Kingdom has changed significantly now that it has its own parliament, and now that that parliament has powers to stand up for the people of Scotland. It is how the new MSPs use this power that will determine whether the parliament will work or not.